Hello, welcome to this channel. For those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. I'm Rosa and I try out a whole bunch of makeup so you don't have to. Today we're talking about something that is so exciting to me because I am such a fan of this brand, but I'm a little bit hesitant about how this product's going to work for me. So today we're talking about eCosmetics and the soon to be launched CC matte version. What's it called? This is officially called the eCosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus Oil-Free Matte Pore Minimizing Full Coverage Cream and Anti-Aging Hydrating Serum. Easy, right? So I picked this up yesterday at the Sephora showcase. I'm giving it my first try today, but it's very exciting. This is coming to Sephora very shortly. It's going to be on counter on the 26th of September. It is retailing for $61 and it promises to hide pores, give you even coverage. It has 40 UVA, UVB SPF, which is a little bit less than the original, and it's just jam-packed full of skin-loving ingredients. So if you are interested in seeing me apply this, some checkups throughout the day, see how it sort of performs, whether or not oil breaks through, or whether it gets cakey, or whether it makes me look super dry, then please stay tuned. Welcome to all of this. Things are looking a little bit rough this morning. I wore makeup for a really long time yesterday and I feel like my skin didn't love it. I've come out with this big whopper and a few clogged pores and stuff, but never mind. So let's get to what we're talking about today. So this is the brand new offering from eCosmetics. If you have watched me for any amount of time, or if you followed me through the last 4 years of blogging, you'll know that I am an absolute devotee of the original CC cream. And I've said a few times I should be like on their payroll because I've just recommended this product to so many different people. So I work with about 100 people of varying ages, and I've recommended this to a lot of women who are my age and older. And I'm not saying that this is a product that is specifically designed for older people. I just feel like the fact that it has all your moisturizer and stuff in there already is only going to do great stuff for skin that's perhaps a little bit dehydrated or lacking some volume. Anyway, this video is not about this product. What we are talking about is this. So let's have a look at this packaging. So there's the original and there's the new, and you'll notice that the tube is actually a pale shade of blue. The first thing that's excited me about this is the fact that there is a new shade. There's actually quite a few new shades. So there are now 12 shades available in this. And what has excited me personally is that I've always been in between a light and a medium. I actually will mix the two. And they've come out with these in-betweeny shades. So this one here is light medium. So in between your fair and light, we now have a fair light, a light medium, and then there's some other like tan shades as well added. I'll insert a picture here of all the different shades, and this will have come from eCosmetics itself. All right, that's enough chatting. Let's get to applying this. I'm going to start off with my Photo Finish Primerizer from Smashbox. I find this is a really nice hydrating primer, and I'm all about the hydration. I did already moisturise my skin this morning, but it is winter here and I am a little bit dry. I typically use a beauty blender to blend in my CC cream, but today I'll be using this as well on one side. So this is the eCosmetics Heavenly Luxe Complexion Perfection Brush. I want to give this foundation, I guess, the best chance possible using the tool that they recommend. So I'm going to start off with, let's go 2 full pumps. And that colour looks pretty good, although it's probably maybe a touch too dark. I'm going to go ahead and just start putting that on the face. I'm just stippling that in at first. It is, I've just noticed, a little bit orange for me, but as long as it doesn't oxidize, it will be fine. And I'm not usually a fan of a brush with this. Like I said, I did want to try it out today because this is how they do recommend you apply the foundation. But it actually has done a really great job of blending it in. It is certainly a lot less dewy than the original, but I don't know if I would say it's absolutely matte. I'm going to go ahead and apply 2 more pumps. And this is typically more than I would usually use, but I guess I just want to see how it performs. For your reference, my skin is what would be best described as combination. I have some oily patches throughout the T-zone, and then the rest of my face is a little dry. I also have quite dehydrated skin. It is winter, it is the middle of winter here now in Sydney, and while it's not a super harsh winter, things like air conditioning and just being out in the cold and the wind do affect my skin a lot. That is blending in so nicely with the Beauty Blender. I'm on the other side of 35. I prefer a medium to full coverage foundation. Yeah, as I said before, I am a fan of the original. Okay, so I think I do prefer the sponge side better, even though it does seem to have sheared the product out slightly. I'm going to use just a touch more, just a tiny dot there, on the concealer side of the brush. And I'm just going to apply a little bit over that blemish to see if it will build. Alright, hopefully you can see that it has covered up most of the redness from that blemish. It also has done a good job at lessening my under eyes. I'm very, very lucky. I have very dark under eyes. So I am filming in absolute natural light. I'm just in front of a window today, but I do want to take you into a brighter room just so you can have a close-up look at what my skin looks like. So the foundation's been on my skin now for a couple of minutes. The side that I used the brush on feels a lot more tacky than this side. This side feels like it's almost set down. This one does feel like there is the slightest amount of transfer on my fingers. It doesn't feel or look what I would say as a true matte. To me, this looks a lot more like what I would call a velvet finish. So it doesn't look dewy by any means, but it's also not that really flat matte. I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of concealer under my eyes. I'm gonna use the Bye Bye Under Eye because we're using e-cosmetics today. I feel like the last one of these I bought, like this one, it's half empty. I don't know if that's just me or what it is, but like I've only had it a couple of months and I don't use it every day, and it feels like it was never full to begin with. I will most probably take it on that blemish as well. And how I typically use this is I will stamp it on, also bring it to that inner corner because that's where I have lots and lots of darkness. And then I'll just bounce that in with the Beauty Blender. And I just finish that off by tapping that in. No matter what I do, I never can completely conceal my under eyes because my issue under my eyes is not necessarily color, even though they are quite dark, but the fact that I have bags under my eyes. I'm going to use the Bye Bye Pores powder, and I am going to set this. And I'm going to use the sponge to set under my eyes because that concealer will move everywhere if you don't set it right. Alright, so through the magic of YouTube, here we are. My face is now done. In reality, it's actually more than an hour later because I filmed another video where I tried on a whole bunch of lipsticks and stuff. And everything seems to be working quite well. Like I said, it has been an hour and my face feels absolutely kind of oil-free. It doesn't feel dry. I really stand by what I said earlier in that I think this is more of a velvet finish than it is a matte finish. But it's certainly not the same as this one here. Also worth mentioning, I did spray everything with some Fix Plus just to get the powders to kind of meld into the skin. So I have a really exciting day planned. I'm going to do some housework and some video editing, and I might head out for lunch a little bit later, and I'm going to take you with me and I'll do some check-ins to show you whether or not this gets oily, whether it breaks down, and just how it performs throughout the day. I've just been editing some videos. I've had the CC cream on now for about 2 hours. This, oh, I've scratched myself. That shine you can see is the highlighter. Can you see how, like, okay, I didn't apply any highlighter to my forehead, but there is a little bit of like glowiness there, and I don't think that's oil as such. I think that's just the natural finish. So as I said, I don't think it's truly matte. I think it's velvet and my natural shine is coming through, whatever that means. But I'm really impressed with it so far. I love that it hasn't caked up around the nose yet, but I will check in with you in another couple of hours. I'm just editing some videos. This sounds really weird because I can hear stuff while I'm talking. But I just wanted to show you what my skin looks like up close. This shine is from the highlighter. You can see that the rest of my skin is not shiny. There's no oil peeking through. Okay, so it's now just about 9 o'clock and I put it on at roughly 10, and so I've had it on for around about 11 hours, which is a pretty typical day for makeup. Ignore that white dot. That is actually some drying lotion that I put on that spot that was getting bigger and bigger throughout the day. I have to say that I think my skin looks pretty good. I still don't think that this is a matte foundation as such. It does mattify the skin, but it's not purely matte. I still feel like there's quite a bit of glow coming through, of course ignoring these parts of my face because that's where I did apply the highlighter. But I don't think that I haven't gotten greasy at all. I've got a couple of blotting papers here. I want to have a look at how oily my skin has gotten. I'm not sure if you can see that, there's really not much to see. So one of the claims is that it has oil control, and I do believe that's happened today. There has been the slightest amount of kind of sticking to dry parts or dry skin around my nose. A lot of the foundation has worn away around my lips because I've been sitting down and editing footage for a couple of hours, and I tend to sit there like this and sort of kind of touch my face when I'm working on the computer. But everywhere else the foundation is still there. Again, the only place that looks slightly cakey, slightly dry is just around my nose there. So I'm really, really happy with how it performed today. Just so you know, today was actually quite a warm day. But this foundation claims to be matte. And I want to make sure that the fact that I use a super hydrating primer didn't affect it in any way. So tomorrow I'm going to wear this again, and you're going to come with me again as we road test this foundation, this time using a mattifying pore filling primer. So this is the Bye Bye Pores. It comes from the same brand, and one would think that these two are going to work really well together to get the maximum out of this product. Alright, so you know the deal. We're going to use this primer today with this foundation, and we're going to see if it makes a difference. So I'm going to use 2 pumps of that and press it all over my skin. I've already moisturized. I'm just going to use my beauty blender today because that's what I prefer, and I kind of preferred the finish that it gave as well. So let's start off with 2 pumps. It's funny, when I was watching this footage last night and starting to edit the video, the foundation actually looks like it's a really good match on camera, but in real life it's actually a little bit orange. I've decided that as much as it pains me, I'm not going to use any highlighter so that I can show you really how this looks without any disturbance from shimmer, because I think that maybe yesterday that could have been a little bit deceiving to you. It's blending in really well, and my pores have virtually disappeared on my nose. I'm in a bit of a rush. I was a bit lazy this morning, and I meant to leave the house already, and I'm not. That pimple's gone down thanks to that drying lotion. And those 2 pumps I think were enough. I will check back with you in a second when my face is all done. So I use the same powder, the same concealer, the same bronzer. The only major difference is that I used a pretty matte blush. The only shimmer I've got on my face whatsoever is on my eyes. That shouldn't really interfere. And I've also gone with a matte lip today as well. Having a look at my skin, I feel like I applied like less than yesterday, which is true. And so you can still see elements of my skin peeking through, which I like. I do look a lot more matte than I did yesterday, which is to be expected. I do feel like at this point, this early stage, that this might be the key to keeping it really matte throughout the day. But you can still see my skin still has that natural kind of, not sheen, but like you can see there's a bit of light reflected off my skin, right? So it's not completely matte. I'm gonna go ahead and set everything with a spray. Hopefully my lashes are dry. I usually use MAC's Fix Plus, but the Fix Plus I have at the moment has shimmer in it, and I don't want to interfere, so I'm gonna use this YSL one today. And I'm gonna run out the door and I'll check in with you along the way. Alright, so it's been about 2 hours since I applied. We've got full sunlight here so you can see all the floors. I've got Camille here, and Camille is going to give her honest opinion about the foundation on my skin.
Hello.
Oh, you're glowing, by the way.
Thank you.
How does it? Can you see any like dewiness, or is
No.
it absolutely matte?
Completely matte.
Yeah. So yesterday I wore it, it wasn't, but
Yeah.
now it looks completely matte.
Yeah, even like around your nose, where some like I get a bit greasy.
Does it look
in there.
patchy? Like, does it look
No,
dry?
I don't think so. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. I don't see cakiness yet. I don't see anything to sort of worry about. That's really close. But we'll catch up in another few hours. It is quite a few hours later, and I think you can see that things have turned a little bit shiny and things have started to cling just a little bit on the dry skin. Remembering I haven't used any highlighter or anything today, so this is all natural shine. But a lot of this shine I think is just, like, it's not oily at all. It's kept things under control, but there is a little bit of shine there. The foundation has worn away around my nose. It's just bare skin there. I'm not sure if you can see. I think I'm ready to give my final verdict. Okay, I'm back home. I've got to make this quite quick because my battery is flashing, but it's about 8:30, which means I've had the foundation on since about 12. So let's say roughly 9 hours of wear. And I think the foundation still looks really good. It has, however, started to let some of my natural oil through. So I don't think that's too bad over 9 hours. I don't see there's anything wrong with having to do a little bit more powder. I feel like if I did just powder down at the nose, it would continue to be matte for quite a few hours. So I think we can safely say that the oil-free matte version is not 100% matte, but it is far less glowy than the original, and I assume it's going to be a whole lot less glowy than the illuminating version. What I did like about this product is that I could have the best of both worlds. By using a hydrating primer, I got quite a nice kind of demi-matte natural look to the skin. And then by using a mattifying primer, I got that quite matte look. It was strange for me not wearing highlighter today. I think I prefer a dewy look, or I prefer a mattified look that then has added shimmer where I place it. But my skin still looks quite good. It does look a touch dry around my nose, and my pores are starting to become a little bit more visible. But this is what happens for me when I use a mattifying primer. So that's typical. Over the last 2 days, I have been happy with the way my skin has looked. I've been happy with the performance and the longevity of the foundation. I firmly believe that if you have very dry skin, that I would stick to the original. However, if you are on the oilier side, you might like to try out the new version. It did a great job of controlling my oils throughout the day. You saw yesterday with the hydrating primer, without a lot of powder, it had a little bit of oil come throughout the end of the day, but for the most part, I didn't look very shiny. And today, again, it's nighttime. If I were going out after work, I would normally blot or maybe apply just a dusting of powder over my face anyway. And you know, for all the important parts of today, it did stay quite matte. If you love a super matte look, then yes, you are gonna have to use something underneath which keeps it that little bit more matte. Otherwise, this isn't gonna give you the look that you're after. For me personally, I would definitely buy this, and I might even in the future have a go of mixing the two and see how that works out for me. To summarize, we have 32 mils of product in this tube for $61, and in Australia this will be available from the 26th of September at Sephora exclusively. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I really hope you stick around and subscribe. Thank you so much for coming and spending a little bit of time with me in my little corner of the internet. I'll catch you next time. Bye.